To you, sir.
Yeah, good morning.
Let's come back to Israel and Hezbollah in a moment. Let's start here with what happened this week, because there's an alliance that we need to pay attention to. Wall Street Journal, here you go. How Putin rebuilt Russia's war machine with help from U.S. adversaries. Iran, North Korea, and China are supplying the people and know-how to tool up Russia's factories and churn out arms for the war in Ukraine. This relationship could be very dangerous for us for a very long time. How do you see it?
Yeah, very much so. 4 days after the State of the Union, our intelligence chiefs came before a scheduled meeting with the Congress, and they said these 4 countries that you identified here represent a threat to the United States we haven't seen in multiple decades. And looking at this, what we're really facing is collaboration and cooperation among 4 distinct allies. China is a near-peer competitor. Russia is a chronic threat. Iran seeks domination of the Middle East, and North Korea has a nuclear arsenal with ballistic missiles that can reach the United States. This is serious. We believe at ISW that we haven't seen a threat like this since World War II. Why? Because we could get involved in more than one war in multiple theaters. That is really the issue that we're facing. And here's the problem, Bill. The intelligence chief said this is very serious. We haven't seen it in decades. We're saying we haven't really seen anything like this since World War II. Where is the administration having a frank conversation with the American people about the seriousness of this threat and how it would impact American security? It is not happening. And that is pretty outrageous and shameful.
This, as we continue to see these escalating clashes happening in the Middle East. Trey Yings just gave us a full report between Israel and Hezbollah. Do you believe that they are inching closer to all-out war?
Yeah, they are. And the Israelis have made up their minds that they need to take a look at the Hezbollah situation. We have a map here. Hopefully we can bring it up here that deals with it. But the reality is that 80,000 people who lived in northern Israel have evacuated from northern Israel. And in a sense, Hezbollah has redefined the boundary of northern Israel. The Israelis believe they have got to go in there and deal with Hezbollah. And they have to push them back across the Litani. That's not the right map, but they have to push them back across the Litani River. This is 18 miles from the border. That is the issue. To push them back, they have 2 choices. Run an air campaign only to obviously bomb them and force them to evacuate, or go in on the ground and also conduct an air campaign. Hezbollah is formidable. Hamas is nowhere near Hezbollah's capability. Hezbollah doesn't have the subterranean tunnel complex. But here's the problem. 150,000 rockets and missiles can reach any town or any city and swarm those towns and cities. A force of close to 100,000, not just a terrorist organization, but organized as military formations with artillery and fighting vehicles. When the Israelis went in there in 2006, after several weeks trying to do the same thing, push the Hezbollah back, after several weeks, the operation had failed and they retreated out of Lebanon, and all 3 service chiefs were relieved of duty as a result of it. They know this will be a very tough fight, but they believe they have to do it if they're going to maintain the sovereignty of Israel and have the border that they want to have.
18 years later, it could be a hot summer again in northern Israel. Let's see if that's the case. Now to Ukraine. We do have a map we can show that you and I have talked about at great length. And what it shows is the Ukrainian capacity on behalf of their military, with extensive help from Western nations, including the United States, with the capacity to hit Russian forces on the Russian side of the border. But this map shows you where the Russian troops are and where the Ukrainians are not allowed to hit.
Yeah, we have a huge problem here, and the administration isn't coming clean about what's actually happening here. Can we put the map back up so I can talk to it a little bit? Yeah, you see that bright red area there across from Ukraine? That is where we can fire HIMARS, or what they call guided multiple rocket launchers, into that. That's 75 kilometers into that. But see all the gray area outside of that? That's the Russian sanctuary where we cannot fire. That's all Russian territory. All the air bases that Russia is using to bomb Ukraine are largely in that area. Those are those little white circles there. Their ground bases, their logistic bases are all in that area. And the administration has told Ukraine they cannot fire the weapons that we've given them, the ATACMS missiles, to fire into that territory. That is absolutely makes no sense to not be able to do that. And it's really handcuffing them in their ability to protect their own people, but also in their ability to bring down the military capability that Russia has. It is very, very vulnerable. And even Russia, they've been on the offense because Ukraine has been on defense this year because they were waiting 6 months to get the weapons. They haven't made much progress at all. They showed up with new soldiers. They're poorly trained, poorly equipped. They made some tactical gains, but were not able to really develop operational maneuver to take significant amount of territory. They took very high casualties, all like they did back in the beginning of the invasion. Ukraine, we can turn the tide in their favor, and the administration has got to stop handicapping them.
General, thank you. We'll see whether or not that happens, whether that day arrives. And if it does, we'll see what Putin does at that point. Thank you, General.
For the retired Navy SEAL, host of Everyday Warrior podcast, and co-founder of Legacy Expeditions. Mike, good morning to you. Thanks so much for coming in. So, as we just saw, Israel is getting ready to do something. But at the same time, we heard from the White House on Sunday that we, the United States, will not support anything that Israel does to counterattack them. So it sounds like, are they on their own?
I'll tell you what, Netanyahu probably gets off the phone with Biden and says one word: feckless. They probably lost 100% confidence in the U.S. right now, knowing that potentially there's a reset with Trump. Israel has always been prepared to go alone, and there's really two sort of scenarios here. There's the direct attacks, which would most likely be against the Natanz or Isfahan nuclear facilities, but Natanz is so far down in the ground, no bunker buster can reach it. They would require ground troops after that. Most likely is the indirect approach, fifth generation warfare through subterfuge, which is cyber to shut down their comms grid, their energy grid, to make the dissidents rise up. Israel knows this. The Ayatollah in this religious theocracy is on its last breath. And Iran only exists because of the two wild cards in this, and that is Russia and China.
I also saw the militants took over to a military facility like last week. They're rising up within Iran, which is so insane that we're protesting for Iran in America, and yet in Iran they hate their government. But I understand the IRGC has made it clear, if you attack us back, we're going to attack you again from your soil, from our soil. So it shows you the game has changed.
Well, I'll tell you what, the protests, one, I assure you they weren't paying taxes yesterday. My best advice to them is get a job and be a net positive on society. I think it's a sad commentary on society that we're struggling with moral confusion and social deviancy fueled by low expectations and the fact that there is this intellectual arrogance amongst a lot of American people that, they see the world through rose-colored glasses. We've been so safe for so long. It's become entitlement. But the biggest flawed notion is that foreign wars stay foreign. Yeah. This is the closest we've been to World War III since the Cuban Missile Crisis. And there's intel, and this goes to the open border, that IRGC, PLA, ISIS, Al-Qaeda, IRGC all have cells here. This is disintegration warfare being led by China and its allies.
Chris Wray has warned about that. He said in his entire career at the FBI, he has never seen the threats, this many threats, all at once. What was your reaction when you saw them carrying the Hezbollah flags, protesters here in America, burning the American flag, chanting death to America?
It's disheartening knowing that my generation went to war for 20 years, but Ainsley, I say you can't cure stupid. You just can't. And the good people need to really affect this great reset in the 2024 elections. We can't afford any more of this poor performance.
Mike, do you worry about the state of the country when you look at the military recruitment is down? You got kids that I speak to on the street, they don't remember 9/11. Some of them weren't even born. They don't understand. I mean, I saw these protesters with this flag in Lower Manhattan where the towers fell. I just felt like that was untouchable at one point in time. Is there some anguish in your heart as someone that went and fought the war, and then you come back home and people don't even respect that?
If the next generation doesn't feel pride in our country, that's because we have failed them to set the example for them. And quite frankly, I've got a daughter on the way. We just found out. So thank you. And it's almost like a wake-up call for me that, when you come back from 20 years of war, you just sort of want to be left alone and build a business. That's what I focused on. And if you don't take an interest in politics, politics will assuredly take an interest in you. And so this baby is now making me wake up that I need to get involved. I need to affect what I can, whether on the local level, the regional level, or the national level.
But on what planet are we all of a sudden on Iran's side? I mean, since 1979, they have been an enemy of America, death to America. They wrote that phrase. And now we're protesting for Iran? People that the Ayatollahs, they just personify intolerance. Everything that these people say they want gender confusion. They want to be able to talk about equality and all these things. Iran represents none of those things. Palestinians represent none of those things.
It's this deviancy. The fact that Israel has become the deviant after October 7th.
The democracy.
It's insane to me. I'll say this. Iran has been our enemy since 1979. The fact that this administration gave billions to them is akin to giving.
It continues to do it.
It is like giving money to Antifa. It makes no sense. In this administration, I swear to God, I would love to sit in one of their national security meetings.
Yeah.
Because it's like an episode of Veep. I think they sit around and say, "What's the worst idea we can come up with? Let's go with that." It's shocking. Don't vote on politics. Vote on performance for this election. Because we can't sustain it. This administration is systematically moving us towards World War III.
Right. Well, congratulations.
How you guys doing today? Wojak here. First of all, before we get into any more, I just want you to know I changed my name for a reason. I was formerly known as Christian Prepper. But when you do a search on YouTube for Christian Prepper, about 20 people come up. So I switched my name to Wojak because there's only one Wojak out there. And what Wojak means is warrior of Jesus and God. All right, it's like Trump's thing that he puts up there, MAGA, Make America Great Again. Wojak is warrior of Jesus and God. Okay, now, as you just saw in the newscast that I put out there, let me try to straighten you guys out a little here. This is not good. We're escalating at a very high rate. Every day, something's going up and up and up and up. Whether it's Ukraine and Russia, or if it's Israel and Iran and all the proxies, So I just wanted to. I haven't made a video in a while. I've been busy with work, and then I got sick. You can tell my voice is a little different. I'm really congested in here. It was all up here, now it's here. But I'm feeling better, and I was watching the news this morning, and I started seeing all this stuff. I'm like, oh my God, I got to make a video. So sorry, I've been out for a little bit, people. I'm back. And don't forget, I changed my name to Wojak, warrior of Jesus and God. That's what that means. So when you do a YouTube search on me, it will come right up. You'll see two swords crossed like this, like an X pattern. Right here, there's two pistols. There's a knife coming up here and a knife coming down like that. I don't know how to get the picture on for this, so I'm just going to leave it alone at that. Trump, in case you've been living under a rock or inside of a tree or on a desert island or stuck in the desert, Trump is president-elect. He won the victory with a landslide victory, which, like I said, it's common knowledge now. If you don't know that Trump won, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, the whole world knows, right? Biden promised Trump and America, and the world actually, a smooth transition of power. Well, he's not holding up to his end of the bargain. What a piece of caca he is. He's escalating this war constantly. Now he's gave Ukraine permission to fire deep into Russia. That's not good, people. All right? Russia's got a lot of nukes, and they have a lot of power behind them. And they're funded by China with money. So that is not a good thing. World War III is escalating dramatically. Every day, things are getting worse. Now, people say, oh, we're not in World War III yet. Yeah, let me tell you something. You look in the Bible, it says it starts in Israel. Well, here it is. Israel is on fire. All right? Trust me, it's going to keep getting worse and worse. I can't believe America media is not reporting on this. We have to go on YouTube to find proper news. That is just despicable. We're supposed to be the country that knows everything first. And by the way, I hope you guys like my shirt here. You like that? That's Trump. He's got his fist up in the air. And at the bottom, see what it says? still standing. You like that? Hope you guys like that. As you can see, I am a Trumper. I love that guy, but I think Biden is trying to escalate the war on purpose, because if you look back in history, World War II, Roosevelt served 3 terms. You're only supposed to serve 2. All right, his 3rd term is where he died, somewhere in the middle to the end of the term. Reason why he served 3 terms, because when you're in war, there's no transfer of power. There's no election. There's no nothing. All right. Now Biden is trying to stop this transfer of power to get Kamala Harris in. I'll tell you how. All right. He's gonna, if he can get us into World War III, he might stay as president. Or if he gets impeached, which they're trying to do to him now, that means Kamala Harris becomes president. And if we enter into a full all-out World War III, that means she will maintain power for the next 2 to 4 years, however long the war will last. It's easy knowledge. All you have to do is Google it. You can find out everything that I'm talking about. It's not like I'm blowing smoke up your behind. All right? Germany has mobilized in the last couple days, we're mobilizing, I should say, 800,000 troops. Not good, people. Well, that is good for NATO. Don't get me wrong. But this is, what I mean by not good is this means that the war is doing this. It's getting up and up and up and up and up. As you can see, my hands are way beyond the camera, right? That's how high it's going to get. When we hit the ceiling, that's nuclear war. It's not good. All right? This will be the end of everything that we know and love. Everything. America, it doesn't matter what country you're in. This is global. Global is global. There's nothing we can do about it. And that's another thing I wanted to bring up. NATO countries are telling their people to stockpile on water, food, and any kind of hand-to-hand combat weapons. Because in Europe, you're not allowed to own weapons like we are in the United States. It's just a law. Civilians are not allowed, but it doesn't mean you can't own knives and swords and stuff like that. You just can't own guns and weapons like Americans can. Thank God we're allowed to do that. Please, people, exercise your Second Amendment. You can refer back to one of my videos. It's a budget pistol, the Taurus G3C. If money is very tight, you can get a $280 gun. Well, depending on which state you're in, between $250 and $300. It comes with 3 magazines. It's a great little handgun. I got 2 of them, one for myself, and I spent $1,000 that day, but that's a whole different video. Go back and watch that video. It says, check out my Taurus G3C budget gun. That's the video you want to watch if you want to try to save money and still have something to protect yourself with. I can't believe American media is not telling us to do anything. We have to go on YouTube to get knowledge. That is so sad and stupid. You know, what they're not telling, like there's preppers. I'm a prepper. I got food, I got water, I got ammo, I got guns, I got protection. I got everything from brass knuckles all the way to swords, all the way up to rifles and pistols. I haven't stopped. I got mace, I got stun guns, I got brass knuckles, like I said, I got swords, machetes, I got a plethora of knives. I am all set to protect me and my wife at any cost. I get a good amount of ammo, So you got to be smart. Please, my brothers and sisters, my fellow Americans, don't wait like people did in the pandemic and go to the grocery store. Because when SHTF happens, there's not Walmart and in your local grocery store, whatever state you're in is your local grocery store, in Walmart, they're going to get destroyed in 24 hours. It won't take nothing. Don't forget, toilet paper is a necessity too. Because before toilet paper was invented, people used leaves, right? Everybody knows that. But when you got the itchies, do you know what they used after that? Because leaves weren't working? Bark. Do you really want to rub bark on your behind? Think about that for a minute. Talk about a bloody experience. Wow. All right, moving right along. You would think America would do the same. Our news stations won't even talk about anything. Unbelievable. What has happened to our country? The Democrats have totally shut down our country in so many ways. This is another thing I wanted to talk about. Rather than beefing up our military, they're trying to turn men into women. That is so sad and so stupid, and oh my God, I can't even believe that. These sex changes and everything, they're pushing for this, even for inmates. I mean, come on, people are in jail, they want to give them free sex change. Oh, what the hell, they need to have a vagina or a penis. Whatever you're born with and you go to jail, that should be what you have. Period of the story. You spend the taxpayers' dollars, our money, on giving them something they're going to sit in a cell with that they don't need? Come on, this is getting stupid, you know? Please get food, water, protection. Exercise your Second Amendment. I cannot say this enough. Do what you need to do. Guys out there that are watching my video, if you are a father and a husband, or I should say a husband and a father, it is your duty as a father and a husband to protect your family at any cost. And if you say, oh, well, Jesus doesn't want us to be scared and we're going to do ours, hey, that's great. I'm a Christian. I'm all about it. But I believe Jesus wants us to help escort evil people to hell. All right, and if people are willing to sabotage your home and come in and kill you and your family to eat your food and drink your water, then you're going to have protection, pal. And you better do something about it. Don't wait for the news to tell you to go to the grocery store, because it ain't never going to happen. Get your behind to the grocery store. Food, water, toilet paper. You can't go wrong. Go to your local Home Depot. If you can't afford guns, or you live in a state that doesn't, it's too hard to get guns, then go to your local Home Depot, Lowe's, anything of the sort, even Walmart. They sell machetes. They sell knives. You can go to a local army store that doesn't have guns and ammo, but they have mace. They have stun guns. You'd be surprised the shit that you can get. Pocket knives, brass knuckles, stun guns. I think I said that a couple times now. I have all of that stuff. You're crazy not to have something. Having something is better than having nothing. Hatchets, axes, sledgehammers. These are things, baseball bats, these are things that will protect you and save your life. Now, sure, if somebody steamrolls your door and kicks it in and they got AR-15s or AK-47s or 74s, or they're holding Sig Sawyers or Glock 19s, so sure, your baseball bat ain't going to do nothing, right? We got to have an alternate plan. Let me take a sip of water here, guys. I'm still congested in here, so you can tell by my voice. Do not think that nuclear war will end everything. Yes, it will be bad. It's going to be devastating. But like America, they're going to take out our money first. They're going to probably nuke New York City, Manhattan, because of the stock market, and then Los Angeles. Those are the two major cities in America that control money. All right? Next after that, they're going to take out our gas and oil. So they're going to wipe out Texas more than likely, and Alaska, because they don't want us to have it. Now, here's the biggest thing. Pennsylvania. You know, you heard of the Pittsburgh Steelers? There's a reason why they call the football team the Pittsburgh Steelers, because Pittsburgh is the capital almost of the world for steel, you know? These are going to be the nuke places. So not all of America will get decimated by nuclear war. Now, there are EMPs. I also made a video on that. Now, they will light off EMPs to shut us down as much as possible. Take down our vehicles, take out our cell phones, shut down the computers, electricity at home, everything. You know, you go back on that video. What is an EMP? I've got about 20 hits on that. I'd like to see more, but things are escalating. Do not wait. Nobody is going to tap you on the shoulder and say, oh, now's the time to get toilet paper, food, and water. Take it upon yourself to do it now. And mothers and fathers out there, don't be stupid and sitting around, especially if you have money saved or a little bit of money put away or you're saving for your retirement. Listen, there ain't going to be no retirement for any of us. I wanted to buy an RV and travel the country. Now that flew right out the window, all right? Our retirement is going to be survival. And that's basically the plain simple of it. It really is. People, we're going to lose Social Security. Let me tell you something. We'll be lucky to stay alive, all right? We will be lucky to live. Having water and food, like me and my wife, I said early in the video, we got about 4 or 5 months. If we really watch what we do, we'll be all right. We'll be all right. We can do what we got to do. I'm constantly buying stuff. So anyway, let me get caught up on notes here. Yeah, do not think any minute America will not be. Yeah, you're a fool to think if America can't be touched. All right? I don't know what more to say about that. Americans are brought up. We are brought up as little kids to believe that we are untouchable in the world. Well, World War III is going to prove different on that. All right? We're not even in the Bible. America, the United States, isn't even listed in the Bible. Okay? You can say what you want. You can argue with me all you want. I don't care. Find me a spot in the Bible that talks about America. It's not there. All right? The reason why, because we're an upcoming country. What are we, 300, 400 years old? And this war is going to shut us down, and we're going to be reduced to nothing again. That's it. Plain and simple. So this is the Wojak, formerly known as Christian Prepper. I had to change the name because if you YouTube Christian Prepper, about 20 of them come up. I didn't like that. My brother brought it to my attention, so I did some searching, and I was like, damn, he's right. I got to figure this out. So I changed my name to Wojak, and that is Warrior of Jesus and God. I love Jesus, and I love God. And I'm very grateful for the life that they have given me. All right? If you haven't made your peace with Jesus and God yet, or you don't believe in them, or it, or whatever the case may be, I don't know what to tell you. You're not going to like hell. Because non-believers, guess where they go? Downstairs. They don't go upstairs. No. My fellow Americans and my brothers and sisters, please be smart. I'm going to be releasing a gun video in a little bit. It's a Christmas present I bought my wife. I don't want her to know about it. It's a PCC. That means pistol caliber carbine. And I'm talking soft right now because she's in the other room and I don't want her to know that I bought it for her. But it's a Beretta CX4 Storm. And it's a great gun. They don't make them anymore. It's chambered in 9mm. It's ambidextrous. My wife's left-handed, so it works out really good. And it's got no recoil. You know, like a 12-gauge shotgun goes boom, boom, boom. Well, this thing goes poof, 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 and it's chambered in 9mm. Awesome. Anyway, I'll be making a video on that soon. Anyway, this is Wojak. I love all of you. God bless you. And have a great day. Bye.